Hello Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the lunar eclipse that's happening in Scorpio on the 15th of May if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or the 16th of May if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. Now we won't get to see this one this time around. We'll have to wait until November in the Southern Hemisphere to look with our peepers at the visual feast of a lunar eclipse, but the energy will still be felt and it will reverberate through us and in our lives, at the very least for the next 14 months until the nodal axis shifts and we then experience the eclipse season in different signs. But what does all this mean for you, Capricorn? So Scorpio rules your 11th house of community and humanity, your concept of the greater collective and what it means to be a human being, of good fortune and sharing. Lunar eclipses show us the shedding that needs to occur in order for our soul purpose to reroute on the road that it needs to, where we can be of best service. To have Scorpio rule your 11th tells me that you think about and feel for humanity very deeply, and it's something that really takes up a lot of your emotional space. You've got a great concern for where the world is headed and what we can do in order to redirect and be of service. Now, with this eclipse, as in 2 weeks ago when we had the solar eclipse in Taurus and we had that T-square with Pluto, we now have an exact T-square with Saturn in Aquarius. So T-squares are sometimes tricky energy. They're a bottleneck, they're a conflict, they're a battle for supremacy in some ways of what planet is going to activate and see us through. Saturn is the planet of restriction. So if you can visualize what Saturn looks like, that'll be a great way to remember what this energy represents for us. In a high vibration, it can be the rule book, the manual, how we learn to get things done. What processes do we need to master in order to achieve what it is that we need to achieve? In a low vibration, it can be restriction, it can be a gag order, it can be a silencing or oppression. So this is the energy that we have the option to work with. Aquarius rules your second house of your talents and your ability and your self-worth and your access to material security. So this is interesting. Obviously, Aquarians are about the greater collective. So that's how you approach your material wealth. It's for the benefit of all, not just yourself. Again, a beautiful, noble trait of yours. But where is the restriction in that space? What is it that you find that is holding you back from earning money in a way that you'd like to, or being of service in a way that you think will benefit? And what is standing in the way of you and your consciousness, and how can we move past that, or how can we use this ecliptic energy to break through? So I want to explain to you the tarot cards that correlate with the points in the sky that all of this is playing out. Each tarot card has a dedicated part of the zodiac, so we can read the sky with the tarot cards. Where the moon is, at 25 degrees in Scorpio, we have the Seven of Cups. This is the card of illusionary success, of options, but no follow through. This is the possibility of emotional fulfillment, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, perhaps too much to really start anywhere. We haven't started, we're still fantasizing about what we might do or where we might go. So I want you to think about that propensity that we all have in relation to your 11th house, so to your community, good fortune, your service to humanity. What is it and what are the options and why aren't you taking action? At 25 degrees in Taurus, where the sun is shining all of its light but then being short-circuited for a moment by the Earth's shadow, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of the opposing energy, an opposite, same but different. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of success unfulfilled. It describes that moment in the garden where you've done everything that you possibly can and everything is set, the crops are laid, the seeds are planted, the watering system's been plugged in, everything is set, ready to go, you're exhausted, you're sunburnt, and nothing's happening. And you're starting to wonder if all of that hard work and effort was for nothing. So I want you to think about your fifth house in regard to this. Where in your creativity, in your child zone, that could be your inner child, that could be children around you, your capacity for excitement and joy and pleasure, your heart-centered space, where have you invested energy that is not growing? Or where are you being impatient in some aspect of that part of your life? Where do you need to give it more time in order to flourish? Or you need to just take it easy and allow things to grow at their own pace? Now, at 25 degrees of Aquarius, where Saturn is, we have the Seven of Swords. I'm going to probably have to apologize here. I don't know if you can hear my stomach rumbling. This always happens when I start doing a reading, and I've tried to edit it out, or I've tried to stop until it stops rumbling, but it's not going to. So we'll press on. Apologies if you can hear the gurgling. I've had breakfast, I'm fine. As I was saying, at 25 degrees of Aquarius, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is the card of unstable effort, but also it's the card of the thief. It's the card of leaving out truth, of telling some of the story, but not all of it, and how this action can affect you, or how this action is purported by you. What are you not giving forth? What are you not telling? Or what do you feel that is being concealed from you? What is being held back? What truths aren't being put forward in order to create the fuller picture? And relate all of that to your second house of your talent and your ability and your worth, your material access. What are you holding back, or what is being held back from you? Sew all of that together, and this is where we'll find what's going to fall away at the eclipse. There'll be a moment that you'll feel in the coming weeks that will be a real catalyst for change in this area, and change that we can enjoy over the next 14 months. So that's the sky. That's quite literally what's happening above our heads. There's no denying it. It's scientific. They're the cards. But I've also pulled you 3 private Capricorn cards to try and flesh out some of this and see what Spirit's trying to get to you. What messages are they trying to tell you? So for that spread, I got the 8 of Swords, I got the Tower, and I got the 6 of Pentacles. The 8 of Swords is a mental cage. It's feeling so restricted by what it is that we believe to be true that we can't move. We're blindfolded and we are vulnerable. We need to set ourselves free from that cage before it gets too severe and we get to the 9 and 10. How can we move? How can we shift? How can we get ourselves out of this situation? You'll find that the answers are within you. You'll find that you have absolute access to freeing yourself. It's just a matter of how. The Tower is an intervention from Spirit on something that was built on unstable foundations. It's the classic eclipse card, and I'm so grateful that it's come out for nearly every sign that I've done these readings for. It's just so blatant. Things are going to shift. Whatever it is that you feel is just running on an empty tank of gas, or the suspension's busted, whatever it is, it's going to give way. So let it happen when it does. Let it happen. Be absolutely in your power and non-confrontational. Allow it to happen to make way for the new. And allow some of that 7 of Pentacles energy to grow from this space. Finally, the 6 of Pentacles is the card of charity. It's of having enough, ample resources that you can spread around and share to balance that scale of privilege. It's also can describe receiving gifts from others, receiving help and support from other people, and not feeling like you are a failure in that space, of feeling nothing but gratitude for that. Let's have a look at this. What can you release for yourself, and also with the help from Spirit, that will put you in a position to receive gifts and to give them back? I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. This is a really lovely, beautiful, sometimes challenging time, but know that it's all happening for a purpose, and know that you have the ability and the power to co-create with this energy. So don't resist, I think, is the best advice to give during eclipse season. If you wanted a private reading, I do offer them via my website, umaruby.com. I offer tarot readings via Zoom, and I can also read your birth chart if that's something that you wanted to learn more about. It's fascinating stuff once you get the information flowing. All the very best for the eclipse season. Remember that this is temporary, but this is valuable. And this is the catalyst for the next 14 months of change and shifts in order to get you back on track. So look forward to it if you can. Sending you so much love, full moon blessings, and I'll speak to you in 2 weeks for the new moon in Gemini and a little reprieve and space of manifestation. Till then, take care.